Hello, everyone. Welcome to ELI, the place where you get your daily dose of inspiration for entrepreneurship. And today we have a very interesting entrepreneur with us, Ashish Gupta, who is the founder of Fretbox, which is a SaaS platform for managing university hostels. Hi, Ashish. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you, Brandon.
Ashish, would start with the fact that when I was studying at university, I always thought that it's so manual. Everything was managed through bookkeeping, and a lot of manual works were there. There were some admin sort of person who was handling the hostel operations. I always thought why there is no software that is used for managing the hostels. And I mean, I could relate to other areas, like everything today is managed by some sort of software, but I couldn't see why no vendor, no why no entrepreneur is trying to solve this problem, managing hostels through software or technology. I think that's why I find it really fascinating to understand your venture and talk about your the building of Fretbox. Tell us how it all started, and before that, a little bit about your background.
Sure. So, see, for a startup, right? The thing that matter most is pivot.
Mm.
Okay,
Okay.
you start with with an idea, right? Something, and then over the journey you see lot and lot of things, right? And then excites you,
Mm.
right? Fedbox has a similar journey. I started with a state helpline for government of Jharkhand way back 6 7 years. We
Okay.
named it Fedbox,
Mm-hmm.
right? And over the journey, we realized we can't scale that model. We started building for housing societies. The market was appealing, but again, it was a free model. And
Mm-hmm.
then I realized the same problem in the universities, right?
Okay.
When the India was going digital, everything was was getting digital transformation, but we realized the hostels were far behind it.
Mm.
Okay, they needed the better solutions. They needed right tools for the university admins, and they had nothing on their hand. They're mostly relying on the WhatsApp, the email groups like this. That's how they have been managing the
Mm-hmm.
show, right? While the infrastructure has gone 10 times, the challenges has become 20 times, but still struggling to fix those issues, right? The student safety, the convenience, the complaints that they see, right? The daily ensuring the daily presence of the students back in the campus after the closing hours and so on, right? Planning the meals for so many students. It all coming as a manual calculations. I mean, as a challenge on a daily basis for the administration, right? And then at the time of admissions, ensuring everybody has paid the fees, ensuring all the documents has been submitted, all the process was super challenging for those students. Remember, imagine a university where you have to manage 20, 30, 20, 30, 30 10 to 30,000 students getting admission in the hostel, allowing them to choose their favorite room, their favorite building, the favorite type of room, even their roommates. Uh, you might have heard of us, the movie scene in Mumbai MBBS. Sir, what
Yes.
is the procedure to change the room, right? And imagine if that's 10,000 students in the university, this is 500 student choice every month for a warden.
Mm-hmm.
It's a typical headache for them. And that's where when I see the opportunity, I jumped on it. We
Okay.
pivoted Fedbox to focus on this niche, which needed a solution right away. So it
Mhm.
took us just 2 years, and starting from a pilot in one university, we are now present in 38 plus universities already.
Okay. Can you tell us how did you start? Like, you saw the opportunity, but there has to be a willing customer to, try your platform, and you did not have a platform in the first place. So, how did you find your first customer, and how did you build
Uh,
the first prototype?
my wife Pranjal, right? She got into a university for the admission. One of her cousin in the hostels. She was struggling them with a lot of phone calls coming in between, and then ensuring. I mean, seeing the register of complaints, register of attendance. Students walking in the cabin and signing, sir, I'm going out, well, we'll come back in 4 hours, like this. So she saw the admin super busy with those stuff. So when she came back home, she said, since we already have a similar solution which we are serving for societies, right? Why not we try with the university, right? Which is having the same set of problem, and they are that's a professional environment, right? I said, let's do it. So we started with one of the pilot campus in Indore.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we give them a couple of months free to try to help, so that we get enough time to learn about the domain and all those things, right? While we also utilize our own experience of myself staying in campus hostel for 6 7 years during my graduations, during my quota days, during my stay in UK, all those experiences combined with together, right? And we did it. So that's how it gone live. And then one university at a time. We even stayed in their campuses for 3 days, 4 5 days, like this, to understand the ground level challenges.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We keep talking to our the first few five customers on a daily basis, right? So that and since these people has never seen a solution before, they are very excited with having even one of the one single feature is how we roll out at the first attempt, right? And even that single feature, they give so much feedback that become our star feature for us, right? And then everything kept adding in weeks and quarters and months.
Mm-hmm. Got it. Speaking of challenges, can you highlight what are some common pain points that your customers have reported?
So imagine you are administration of a bigger university, okay, that has a student capacity of 5,000. Okay, now when you wake up in the morning, you have to ensure that you have to order catering, that please plan breakfast for these many students, or maybe lunch for these many students, right? Because you don't want to waste food. 5,000 students in the university, that doesn't mean everybody will actually be present to have their breakfast, right? Then you will start having daily complaints. My AC is not working, sir. My in my floor there's a water issue. In my washroom there's a water issue. There's a leakage issue. Something XYZ, right? So the complaints will keep flowing to you on a day, from morning to evening, right? My Wi-Fi is not working. So my roommate was making noise like last night. All such things, right? And then by the evening, when the university comes to close, we want to ensure that everybody is back, especially the girls' child, right? They are back in the campus and the closing hours, right? If they are going out for nights, right? You want proper permission so that it's on your record. These are the 20 students who will not be staying in the campus, right? In certain cases, you want to ensure consent from their parents as well, especially if they are in teenage, right? Uh, because the student safety is also a matter in universities. I mean, most of the new age universities, they are not within the city limit; they are outside the city limits,
Hmm.
right? So these the daily operations through a warden, and the same cycle repeat every day,
Okay.
right? And they were this where the university admins, the wardens, their security was struggling out,
Mm-hmm.
right? We fixed all those.
Okay.
And then if you imagine yourself as a university owner, right? You are investing crores of money every year on the new infrastructure, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then end of year, right? You want to ensure that those infrastructure is properly filled, it's utilized,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that's giving you right return of investment,
Okay.
right? You are It's not 20 the hostels like 20 years back when you create a plain two-floor building, simple, all standard room with three beds, just a fan and a cupboard, right? Today's infrastructure is massive. It's a high rise. It's a proper AC fitted. It's proper all the amenities, right? That you think of in like it's a hospitality industry now,
Mm-hmm.
right? And student will have even 5 to 10 type of choices to select from, right?
Okay.
Because they are coming from different backgrounds. I mean, you also have international students. You have students coming from very rich class. You have students coming from coming with education loans, right? So that the needs are different. You could not. Now, when you have so much of different variety of inventories, you want to ensure everything is filled out,
Mm-hmm.
and you also want to ensure that as per the demand, your infrastructure is scaling.
Okay.
If you have most of the students coming from humble backgrounds, right, then you will mostly share 3 to 4 sharing occupancies with limited amenities. But if you are like high new age university with high end investment, and mostly of your students are coming from rich families or maybe from Africa or maybe other countries, right? You want to give them a high of the convenience, and you will charge on a premium to them.
Mm-hmm.
So all the investment that you made, right? You want to ensure that they are coming back as a revenue to you. So and to ensure that all the occupancy is filled, and that is your satisfaction that my occupancy is filled. And then you want to ensure you have the right feedback, so that because hospitality as a hostel is a recurring business. You will have new students coming every year.
Mm-hmm.
You can't have a bad feedback. It's not a railway station, right? That every time a new people will come. No, you are having a person who joined you for a year, at least a year.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to give them a quality of service as well.
Got
And
it.
in the days of digital feedback, any bad feedback can actually kill your entire plans.
Mm.
They are super serious about collecting the right feedback, executing is proper, and that's where they needed all the important tools, right? And when those all tools come in a single solution with the name of Fretbox, they're super happy.
Got it. So, when I talk about any software, the first thing comes to my mind are what are the different modules that it has. So typically, any software, any complete management software would have 5 to 10 different modules. Can you explain what are some of the top modules that your platform has? Linking back to the problems you just mentioned, like
Uh,
the yeah.
Rather than modules, we call it, the core pillars, right? What are the core functions of the university, right? And especially the hostels, right? Non-academic part. One of the core function is the revenue itself, right? The revenue that comes in the form of rentals, in the form of mass booking, in the form of their fines, maybe any other charges, right? The second is the communication, right? So the communication is in the forms of the notices that they publish, the polling, so the student inputs, right? The student feedback. So all the 360-degree communication between the university owner to the vice chancellor, or maybe a or the dean or a chief warden and the student, right? They all get engaged on the platforms. Another core pillar is the student tracking, right? Which I was telling you, right? So ensuring their daily entry exit, ensuring their presence, ensuring their all the necessary approvals of going out to the university. That was another core pillar. So you call it the modules, we all it like this, right? And then we have assistance. Assistance means when anyone need help, right? So it can be a security guard who saw a fight at the gate, or maybe a student who needs to get his problem solved, right? It's a complaint, or the student who is struggling with an emergency situation. Maybe his tire got busted near the university, or maybe he's stuck in the lift, or he got dragged out something. So these are the major core pillars, right? And then all the features are built around those.
Okay, got it. And let's speak about the stakeholders who are using your software. So, in my experience, different stakeholders interact in different ways with the software. For example, a admin would typically look at a report, and that is best visible inside a website, inside a web view. Whereas, probably a security guard would need a mobile app. To manage whatever is in his control within the application. Similarly, let's say a student, they might not have a mobile app. They don't want to, let's say 10,000 students, all of them may not want to download a app to post a issue or something like that. So rather they might prefer to do it over WhatsApp or SMS. So can you explain to us what are the different categories of users that you have in your application? How do they interact with your application? um and so on.
We have every one from a university who's involved in the management, right? from a vice chancellor to the head of administration, or in some cases they also call it the registrars, right? Then the chief wardens, who is actually responsible for the hostel activities, and the wardens. So you might have one warden, two warden for the boys buildings, and you have similar for females buildings, right? Then the individual building supervisors. You will have housekeeping, plumbers, all the work, or the ground staff, and then you will have security staff, that you rightly said, right? And then end of the cycle, it's students. And on an average, it's like one admin staff every 100 to 200 students, right? So if I in a university I have 1,000 students, I'm going to have around 10 to 15 university admins as well, right? We have a mobile first approach where every day-to-day task, right? All the notifications are on your phone. So let it be the student, let it be when you as a student, when you wake up in the morning, 6, 7 a.m., you will have a notification. Good morning, today's breakfast is dosa and idli, right? That could not have been achieved through a uh, laptop view, right? So student have the mobile, right? And with these certain notifications, they feel very much engaged towards having the Fretbox app rather than moving to WhatsApp, right? Because in bigger size universities, you might have multiple vendors who will be supplying different menus to different buildings. So yeah, would have been tough for universities to have post in their WhatsApp groups on a daily basis. Rather than they have what if they have all the plans set for a week or a month, they upload it on the Fretbox system, and then it takes care of everything, all the notifications to the right people, right? For the management bodies, as I said, let it be the chief wardens, the supervisors, they all engage on a daily basis with the mobile app. While they also have a application to be used on a laptop. Now,
Okay.
laptop application, we call it web application, right? They use it for high-end configurations, customizations, and all the big size analytics and reports.
Mm-hmm.
But mobile app is for their daily operations, all the approvals that they have to do, right? All the notifications that they have to float,
Mm-hmm.
all the complaints that they have to forward. So this
Okay.
is where they use apps,
Mm-hmm.
right? Uh, for a university owner and vice chancellors, we have a separate app, right?
Okay.
Because they don't need to dig deep in your day-to-day affairs. They need to see a bigger picture,
Mm-hmm.
right? So their app is only a number app, which tells them what's happening around, rather than telling five over the five students who came late yesterday. We tell them, yeah, so every day you are having two or three or five students coming late.
Mm-hmm.
Then so that app is more about the reporting and in a bigger picture,
Got it.
right? So based on the roles, based on their duties, right? We have different infrastructures. I mean, interfaces for them.
Got it. I also read somewhere that Fretbox is using AI for automation and security, and I also read, I think, voice assistant is there inside the application. So, can you tell us how do you leverage AI? Which all models of AI are you leveraging, and for what purpose?
I will not go deep on the tech side, but I can say that all the student attendance is dependent on their face-based models,
Mm-hmm.
right? We don't use the security cards. We don't use mobile apps, geofencing for the check-ins. We use typical face-based models, devices, which ensures that it's not faked.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We implemented AI and MLs mostly in helping wardens and the catering plan their menus right, telling them what kind of feedback they had last time when they cooked that particular dish, right? So that they can plan the next week of meals accordingly, right? We have AI in so bus assistant, right? Especially for wardens to automate certain tasks, maybe. Uh, Yesterday's all complaints are closed. And so once he say this, the all complaints will be marked as out.
Mhm.
This is how we are moving ahead with the
Got
technology.
got it. Uh, let's talk little bit about the business side. In my experience, what I have seen is universities and these academic institutions, they have a lot of stakeholders, and the decision making process is very slow. So I mean, one has to be consistently approaching them with a certain solution, and be persistent to convert a particular client. So can you tell us about how do you first of all get inquiries in your system? How do you get interest from a certain university
See, it's
to,
not just
yeah.
university here and there, right? It's any organizational model, right? So let it be your central government, let it be your state government, let it be your city governance, or let it be a university, right? Wherever is there's a involved of a organizational structure, the decision will slow because multiple stakeholders will get involved.
Mm-hmm.
They will have their opinion, they will have their own research, and they will have their fair share of vote of acceptance, right? And building an application or a solution for them, you have to be patient enough,
Mm-hmm.
right? And any person who is working with government, he knows that a contract is planned today and executed 3 years later,
Right.
right? So he prepare himself for what will happen after 3 years, not
Mm-hmm.
what will happen after in 3 days,
Right.
right? You can, as a organized government organization, they have to think on a lot of parameters, right? The same happens in a university as well.
Mm-hmm.
Right? A lot of stakeholders will get involved from IT, from law, from cybersecurity, from finance, right? They have their own fair share of wisdom and vote, right? We go through this. I have even seen 30 people sitting in a room, grilling me out, asking all the typical tough questions, right? And but the advantage is, right, that you learn going through such tough processes, right? And that evolves you as an entrepreneur,
Mm-hmm.
right? Every meeting improves you, your own wisdom, right? It prepares you for the next bigger meeting.
Right.
And patience is the only key, right? You keep following with them, you work with them closely, right? You and it happens, right? I have seen a contract even converting in 21 months for us.
Mm-hmm.
So that means we work patiently. But the last model, like last mile advantage is the deal is not for 1 month, the deal is for 5 years,
Mm-hmm.
right? So all our efforts are paid.
Right.
It's not like a consumer model, like you have a water bottle and you are selling for a person, and so you hunt them, it takes 5 minutes to sell it, and that's it. The transaction volume is small.
Mm-hmm.
In B2B, when you're talking to for a large deal, right, it is going to take its own time.
Right.
So
Got it.
that for us, like once we crack a university, we can protect our revenues for 5 years.
Mm-hmm. Understood. Okay. Here is my final question, which is around the future. I think you rightly mentioned that the student accommodation is changing really fast. What was 10 years from 10 years back is not there anymore. Now it's more of a hospitality industry. Students are getting a lot of amenities. Things are changing really fast. But also looking at the future, things are going to change even more faster. There is a lot of technology and AI in picture, especially a lot of software vendors are now in panic mode because AI is going to kind of replace a lot of software. So how do you predict the future both in terms of student housing, student accommodation, or as well as being a software vendor? How does it uh, impact you? How do you project the future?
See, AI is a tool. It's not a replacement of right. It's just a smart layer on what you used to do. We as a tech company don't need to worry on this. Why? Because that is going to be our own assistance. in getting our product evolved. So rather than I say I should have a fear of AI replacing Fretbox, I say Fretbox itself is become an AI powered tool for the all the customers, right? So I don't see fear for any tiny tech companies. I mean, see every technology has its own life cycle.
Hmm.
So if you have built up a solution on certain aspect, certain technology, it's time for you to rethink and reinvest.
Hmm.
That's it.
Understood. And what about the student housing? How do you predict the future? What will change? What are the
Yes.
new things that are
See,
coming?
India has the largest population of young generation, right? And we all invest good share of money in education of ourselves, our children's, right? Still, maximum of the Indian population live in tier 3 cities,
Hmm.
while where you don't have much option of higher education.
Right.
Right? I will say 90% of the Indian student, I will say, actually relocate for higher education.
Mm-hmm.
That means the future of student housing, especially within the university, is really fruitful, at least in coming years,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because relocation is what you see. Unless you build universities in tier 2, 3 cities, which will have bigger infrastructure, bigger uh, high quality education, the student will have to relocate always.
Mm-hmm. Got it. All right. On this note, we will close the session. Thanks for joining us, Ashish. It was a pleasure to speak with you, and I think you are building a very
I
interesting business.
completely understand.
Thanks.